Susan Hayward was an American actress who was popular for performing in films that were based on true stories. In this video, we'll take a look at her life and her sad ending. School plays and car accident. Susan Hayward was born Edy the Marrenner in New York City to Ellen and Walter Marrenner. Her father worked as a transportation worker. Her grandmother was an actress from Ireland, so she was probably inspired by her to perform in plays. When she was in school, she would often act in school plays. Her classmates named her most dramatic. She was involved in a car accident in 1924, which resulted in a fractured hip and broken legs, and she had to be put in a partial body cast. The doctors told her she wouldn't be able to walk again, but about a year later, she was back in school. The car accident left her with one leg that was shorter than the other, resulting in a strange gait for which she was often laughed at by her classmates. Her strange way of walking later became her trademark when she started working in Hollywood. Film debut and cheesecake photos. She was among the hundreds of girls who were selected to screen test for Scarlett O'Hara in the 1939 film Gone with the Wind. She traveled to Hollywood in 1937 to audition for it, but sadly didn't get the part. She auditioned for other films and managed to get a 6-month contract at Warner Brothers for $50 a week. Talent agent Max Arno didn't like the name Marrenner, so he changed it to Susan Hayward. She played some small roles in the films Hollywood Hotel, The Amazing Dr. Clitterhouse, The Sisters, and Campus Cinderella. Her first big role was in the 1938 film Girls on Probation alongside Ronald Reagan. It wasn't successful, but it helped her to find better roles. Her contract at Warner Brothers forced her to pose for pin-up cheesecake photos, something she or any of the other actresses who worked with her had no interest in. Paramount Studios. After her 6-month contract ended, she signed a contract with Paramount Studios, which paid her $250 per week. Her first film with Paramount Studios was Beau Guest, in which she performed with Gary Cooper and Ray Milland. The film became a hit. She was cast as the second lead in the 1939 film Our Leading Citizen with Bob Burns, and she also starred in $1,000 a Touchdown with Joe E. Brown. She traveled to Colombia to star in the 1941 film Adam Had 4 Sons with the Swedish actress Ingrid Bergman, and co-starred with John Wayne and Paulette Goddard in the 1942 adventure film Reap the Wild Wind, Bewitched, and other films. She starred in the 1942 fantasy romantic film I Married a Witch alongside Frederick March and Veronica Lake. The film was based on an unfinished novel by Thorne Smith and also inspired the creation of the 1960s TV show Bewitched. She starred in Paramount Studios' 1943 musical film Star Spangled Rhythm. She then performed with William Holden in Young and Willing and Hit Parade of 1943. Becoming a star. When World War II ended, Hayward signed a 7-year contract with film producer Walter Wenger. Her first film with him was Canyon Passage. It was her second film, Smash Up, the Story of a Woman, with Wenger, that helped her win a nomination for an Academy Award. The film was a box office success, and it turned Hayward into a star. Some of the films she did after Smash Up failed to gain much attention, but the films she made with 20th Century Fox proved to be a success. She performed with Gregory Peck in David and Bathsheba, and it was the most popular film in the year 1951. Her next film, The Snows of Kilimanjaro with Gregory Peck and Ava Gardner, was also a success. The Conqueror controversy. Hayward was hired by MGM to star in the 1955 biopic I'll Cry Tomorrow, based on the life of actress Lillian Roth. The film was a huge success, and she won a Cannes Award for her role. Hayward never thought of herself as a singer because she hated her voice, so she often got a ghost singer to sing for her. However, in the movie I'll Cry Tomorrow, her vocals weren't dubbed over, and you can hear her sing in the film. The songs are also included in the film's soundtrack. She then performed in the 1952 film With a Song in My Heart, a biography of singer Jayne Froman. She won the Golden Globe for Best Actress Comedy Film for her role. Jayne Froman's voice was dubbed over Hayward's in the film. In 1956, Hayward starred in The Conqueror alongside John Wayne. Some people believe that Hayward, along with John Wayne, Agnes Moorehead, John Hoyt, Pedro Armendariz, and Dick Powell, were all exposed to radioactive chemicals in Utah during the shooting of the film, which led to their deaths. All of these people died of cancer. Her last film with Walter Marrenner was I Want to Live. It was based on the criminal and death row inmate Barbara Graham. The film was a commercial success, and Hayward won the Academy Award for Best Actress for her role. Film critic Bosley Crowther was so moved by Hayward's performance, he said, "Anyone who could sit through this ordeal without shivering and shuddering is made of stone." Decline in popularity and failing health. Hayward's film career was beginning to decline. None of the films she did in the early 60s became as successful as the films she did in the previous decade. Her health was also getting worse. She was diagnosed with brain cancer in the 1970s, and she found it increasingly difficult to find any good roles. Despite becoming ill, she continued to work in films. She starred in the 1972 film The Revengers with William Holden. Her final film was Say Goodbye, Maggie Cole. The film was supposed to be a TV show, but it never reached the production stage because Hayward was too ill and found it impossible to work. With the help of Charlton Heston, she managed to appear at the 1974 Academy Awards to present the Best Actress Award. Hayward was a heavy drinker and smoker, and it probably contributed to her failing health. Marriage and struggle with cancer. Hayward met her first husband, Jess Barker, while volunteering at the Hollywood Canteen during World War II. She had twins, Gregory and Timothy, with Barker. She wanted to take her sons to Hong Kong with her during the shooting of her film Soldier of Fortune, but Barker refused to let her go. Barker and Hayward divorced in 1954, and she tried to take her own life because of all the stress. She married businessman Floyd Eaton Chalkley in 1957 and lived with him on a farm in Georgia. Their marriage was a happy one. Both were deeply in love, and when Chalkley died of hepatitis in 1966, Hayward became so depressed, she took a break from Hollywood and moved to Florida because she didn't want to live in Georgia without her husband. Hayward was diagnosed with brain cancer after she had a seizure in 1973. According to People magazine, there were 220 people on the set of The Conqueror. 91 of them developed cancer, and 46 of them succumbed to the disease. On March 14, 1975, Hayward was resting in her Beverly Hills home when she suffered a seizure and died. She was 57. She is the only actress whose footprints at Grauman's Chinese Theater are set in gold dust. She also has a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. What's your favorite film by Susan Hayward? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button.